Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, hello. I know it's been a week, but I like to always say hello on this wonderful Monday. And this time I'm broadcasting from Las Vegas, Nevada. What is it? The nickname Lost Wages, Nevada. Anyway, that's where I'm broadcasting from. Actually, in our in our hotel room, my husband and I are here for a few days, and I wanted to make sure you know how I am. I'm gonna get my broadcast in, so I wanted to make sure I came to you and let you and had a chance to spend some time with you. I'd like to first thank our sponsors for today's show. Today, our sponsors are the Idea Club with the president, and that's theideaclub.com. The president is Dumas Martin Jr. He's the president. If you are looking to have a nonprofit, which is a 501c3, if you're looking to have a LLC, a limited liability corporation, or an S Corp or C Corp, then you want to go to theideaclub.com and speak to Dumas Martin Jr., the president. I can tell you right now that's who has done all of our corporations, anything that we're doing that's about intellectual property, we go through Dumas. Next, there is First Book Academy. If you would like to write your first book, you can go to First Book Academy and learn how to write that first book. And it takes you through step by step. Usually it's a 4 week process, but some stay longer than 4 weeks, but at least 4 weeks and to get the first book completed. So I'd like to take you through that, or if you're interested. So you go to firstbookacademy.com and you can apply for the academy. Next, we have as a sponsor the Henderson Real Estate Team.info, the Henderson Real Estate Team.info, and you can go there online to them. And if you're buying a home or selling a home, you want to contact the Henderson Real Estate Team so they can help you with that. Next, as another sponsor, is Welch Travel Tours. And you're saying, who's Welch Travel Tours? Actually, that's my husband's business, Welch Travel Tours, but he books cruises, hotels. You can go there and anything that's travel related, you book it wholesale instead of retail. You go to welchtraveltours.com and you will be able to do that at that website. And um, another one of our other sponsors is Sudden Insurance. Sudden Insurance Services. You go to suddeninsuranceservices.com. If you're looking for life insurance, home, auto, then Sudden Insurance Services can help you with that. And last but not least is the new book that came out recently called um, the new book that published about 2 weeks ago is Stuck in the Elevator. That's available. It is for ages, I say 2 to 5. I think I originally said 3, but it's like 2 because it's real colorful and the pictures are real bright. And I actually autographed the copy I had and I gave it to a young lady when I was traveling, uh, just as a gift. So I don't have one with me right now, but I will have one next week. And you guys can, and I'll show you that copy of that book. I'm really proud of all of the books that are on Amazon, and that's just one of those. So, and that is those of you that are interested in something for your grandkids or your children is Stuck in the Elevator. It's a cute book, um, which is a true story. My husband and I were stuck in the elevator. We were in Brazil, and obviously we got out, but we were there for a little time until they could get us out, basically. But that experience led to writing a children's book about it. Now, ladies, gentlemen, I know today was really to be a day about the gentleman that was coming on. His name is Justin Jacobs, and that was the to be the speaker for today's show. The only thing is, if we Justin's on East Coast time and I'm on West Coast time, and so we got our signals crossed a little bit. So what I suggested, what I thought about would be a good topic for today is to talk about what everybody's talking about, and that is the Will Smith slap. What happened with that? What was the? I mean, we're getting the fallout from that. You hear every day. I watched on the Today Show on Friday, and which I don't think I've ever seen that, or not recently anyway. But the Today Show spent 15 minutes talking to Will Packard. Will Packard was the producer for the Oscars this year, And so it was produced by African American male. Then it was hosted by two African American women, and then we had the winner of the coveted lead position on a movie by Will Smith, as we all know. In addition to that, Samuel Jackson was named to the Hall of Fame, I believe, for Oscars. So it was a lot. So the question is, what? I guess the question would be, what happened? What happened? I know for me, let me just say this. I think this. I just say that's all I can do is tell you my opinion. That's the only opinion I can give you. My opinion about this whole situation is we have to show Will Smith grace. And you may say, well, he doesn't deserve it. This is what I think about this. I said, this is all my opinion. You don't have to agree with it or anything like that, but this is my opinion about this. Everyone has done something that they wish they could undo. I don't think there's anybody on the planet has done whatever it was that you wish you could do differently, or wish you had done differently, or wish you had said something differently, whatever the case may be. I don't think Will Smith is any different than that. I think that because he is a celebrity, I'll say quote unquote celebrity, we put celebrities in a different category. And I have been blessed to work on sets, movie sets. And what I notice about the celebrities that I've been honored to work with, they're just like everybody else. Oh, there's my husband. You see him in the background. They'll see you. Are you ready to come out? Okay, well then you can come out. So, what I really wanted to go over with you or talk about who would what number one. I don't think anybody agrees that that wasn't the wrong thing to do. I guess what I would agree or have coming to terms with, why did it happen to begin with? Why did that happen? I know the night of the Oscars, I was at my cousin's in Maryland, and we had a mini Oscar party, and we were, I don't even know how to say we were shocked, because prior to the incident, I just said to my cousins, we were sitting there watching the Oscars, and I said, "What happened to our hosts? What happened to the ladies that that were hosting?" I said, "They kind of disappeared. I don't know what happened." And what I was really saying, it was a lull in the Oscars, because we were all kind of comfortable sitting back on the sofa, just kind of enjoying it. I think we were having popcorn, just really watching it, but also knowing it was going very well, by the way. But at the same time, there was something missing. I can't explain what that was, but I knew there was something missing when I said that to them. I said, "Oh, so what happened to our host?" And so before my cousin could say anything, that's when Will Smith got up. I heard what Chris Rock said, but truthfully, it did not register for me. It didn't really. I didn't really get it. I was sitting there going, "Okay, so what does that really mean?" I just didn't have the it just didn't resonate in me. And so when it happened, and when he did get up and he was moving toward Chris Rock, we automatically thought it was a joke. We automatically just didn't. Nobody even thought about it. Nobody said anything. We just thought it was a joke. It's like, oh, okay, he's getting up, walking up there, big deal. But for some reason, that was not the case. It was not the case. So I can't tell you what the reason was. I do not know what the reason was. All I can tell you is that for some reason, when he got up, we thought it was a joke. We thought it was something planned by the two of them. Um, Nobody expected what we saw. In fact, I even said, I don't think he hit him. I think it was he moved back. That's why I said I didn't think there was an actual connection from it. But then one of my other cousins said, "Didn't you hear that?" And I said, "No, I really didn't hear it." So it really showed me that what I saw and what they saw, here we are in the same room together, four of us. It was my cousin, two of my cousins, and my cousin's fiance, and we're watching the exact same thing, and we're all getting a different version of it at the same time. Because each one of us, I thought this, I thought that. It was just, and at the same, and then when the reality hit us that this really did happen, and it really is, we all knew was there was nothing right about that. There was no doubt. How do we assess that? Because the minute it happened, I said to them, I said, you know, that's if he really did hit him, that was assault. And I was like, what happened? And they said, well, he said something about Jada Pickett, Jada Pickett Smith. That's what they were saying. That he made a comment about, you know, her hair, and I said that I doubt that that justifies it. And I said, but I don't really know what's going on because I'm sitting here thinking, what happened that it would take it to that level? That was what I was trying to figure out more than anything else. What did I miss? What was it that we didn't see or didn't know or weren't aware? All these things. That's what I kept thinking. I said maybe there was something that was going on between them prior to that event. So when um, when Will Smith, you know, sat down again and they announced that he was gonna that he received the award, a few, I think it was another award between him. We were still back there. We couldn't even really be excited for the next person because we were so focused on that situation. But I remember thinking when I saw that, I said, I know he regrets it. I knew instantly he regretted it. That whatever it was that caused that to happen, there was going to be a regret. Because as we know, um, you know, you're going to see this. Who knows how many times you're going to see this? It just looks like every at least 2 or 3 times a day right now. So yes, something else may come about and it'll go away. But for right now, as we know, it is a topic of conversation. Period. People have heard people say, "Oh, he's set black people back." I refuse to accept that. I don't believe for one instant anything Will Smith does or anybody else does is setting it. So that would mean that he also that he can set people forward if he can do that kind of thing. That this is between Will Smith and Chris Rock. No matter how it looks, it's between those two men. I know I sent a DM to Will Smith. I sent a DM to Chris Rock, and I asked them to come on the show. Now, do I think that they'll come on the show? I look at it like this. Who knows? They may. Yeah, I think I could not. If I didn't send the DM, I never know. But I sent them a direct message on their Instagram, even though they have. I think Will Smith has 62 million. So the chances of him even seeing the message is slim and none, to be honest. And I know he doesn't see him anyway. He has staff that does that handles his social media. But I put it out there to have both of them come on at the same time. Now, you never know. Somebody may say, "Oh, you know, there's a lady that has a YouTube and Facebook, and she wants to have both of you guys on at the same time." And they may say yes. That what I've learned is you don't know unless you ask. You don't know unless you ask. You got to ask. So that's why I said, let me just go in and ask and see what they say. So I put it out there. Um, but I do think that we, as a society, this is what I truly believe that we have to have grace. I know there's two camps. There's the Will Smith camp and there's the Chris Rock camp. Why there's two camps, I do not know. Because this is something that we need to, um, in my opinion, should be one camp if there's such thing, and that's because we need to find out what happened. What happened? What is the what is the root of this? Because this didn't just happen. Things don't just happen. There is a root to this. There is a background that I'm sure. Um, I know. I think it was forget, someone mentioned to me, well, he had already picked on Jada at another at another Oscars. And that may be the case, and that's why she, rolled her eyes and all this kind of stuff. But you know how we are. We're gonna roll our eyes at stuff that we don't feel that we like. That's just how, especially women. Well, I don't know if men roll their eyes. I know women tend to roll their eyes. I don't know, but I can't say men do. But I know we will. That's just how. That's our way of. That's our body language. That's how. So we are speaking. All of us are speaking each and every day. We are speaking. Oh, and I didn't know. Oliver, do you mind turning the TV, the buzzing? Thank you. Oh, tell me, I need to turn it down. There you go. There it is. Okay. But every day, we are always sending signals. No, just a second. We're always signaling. We're always talking without speaking. Everybody does. This is not just a Will and Jada thing. This is life. We do it with our eyes, we do it with our head, we do it with our body, we do it. This is how, and that's outward expression. When people smile, when people frown, all of that is you are speaking without speaking. That's what you're doing. Everybody does it. So it's not just about someone. I've heard comments about, oh, if she hadn't rolled her eyes, she has. That's if I don't know a person in that theater that's not human. It's not human. That's part of. If we don't like something, she didn't say anything, but she was showing by her body language that she was disliking the things he was saying. That's pretty much it. But does she have a reason to dislike it? I think she does. Doesn't she have a right to dislike it? I think so. I know I've heard people say too. Well, if you're you don't sit right in front of comedians because comedians pick on you. I don't think they had any control of where they were sitting. I don't think they did. I think that was already predetermined before the Oscars where they would be sitting during the Oscars. So she didn't have a choice in essence to sit there, but many people I'm sure have already found out too that though Chris Rock is a comedian, that there was a script in front of him on a teleprompter, and he did not read that script. So that I'm not saying that makes him responsible. I didn't even know that there was a script on teleprompter until I saw Will Packer's interview on Today's Show, and I was sitting there going, I wonder why. But then again, you remember, the whole world is watching you. Not the whole world, but a lot of people, millions of people are watching from all around the world. And I'm sure that just like anybody else, he's getting excited. You're on stage, you're on in front of all these millions of people. And he started speaking and probably just got caught up. Just got caught up in the moment. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because according to Will Packer, um, the script had no jokes about Jada at all, not whatsoever, none whatsoever. And that's part of what. Now remember, all this is my opinion. I think that's part of the reason why he is saying no, don't. I'm not pressing any charge. I'm not doing anything because I was saying things that were not scripted or unscripted, and the script did not include, you know, poking fun at someone's expense. Now I don't know about the on the alopecia on Jada's part. I think she's beautiful, with even though even with her hair shaved. I mean, the lady's just a beautiful lady. That's just period. That's all there is to it. There's not. I can't imagine. Um, what she's really showing women, because it tends to be what we're very focused on our hair. Everybody knows we're into our hair. So um, she's showing that you cannot have hair and still be a beautiful woman, and still have her husband, her family. That hasn't changed. None of that has changed. And really, in my opinion, showing women that it's okay. Some women have lost their hair due to cancer, and they will tend to wear wigs or wear something else because they don't want the attention that comes when women have their hair shaved. Um, that's big. And I understand both. Is what I'm saying. Um, she's an icon in the community, and really she could. I'm sure there was way she could wear all kinds of wigs if that's her choice, and she still can. It's her choice, whatever she wants to do, but she's still a viable person to the community, and so is Will Smith. So is Chris Rock. They're all obvious. I mean, they're in the entertainment industry. Um, People admire them for who they are, for the money they make, and all those things. I even have people say he makes too much money to have done that. I've heard some everything now. And I said, but is he make too much money not to be human? Is that it? Is that what you're saying? Hmm. Well, think about that. I'm sure we've all read and seen how he has resigned from the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences. He has already said that he's already professed, apologizing to Chris Rock and to the Academy and to anyone that watched the Academy Awards. It seems like it's almost like it was an out of body experience. It was something so different than any of us. It was like I didn't. I'll be honest. After all this time, I didn't. It was like I couldn't recognize him, and that's what I felt. I said, I can't. I don't even know who is this that this would happen to. And I really, my heart goes out to him. Just came across my phone. All of the projects he was working on have been pushed to the back burner. That cannot feel. It's not about him, and I'm sure this is part of what he feels. He understands there's production teams attached to each of those projects. So those teams may or may not be able to move on to another project. So there's other people involved too. So it's not just the star that you see. There's the pop behind every production. And for Will Smith, I'm thinking his production's probably 1,000 people or close to it. Um, Anywhere from probably 500 to 1,000 easily that are behind the scenes. So he recognizes that there's other people's lives and livelihoods that are attached to him. So, what I would suggest during this time is prayer for the family, prayer for Will Smith, Chris Rock, and his family. Everyone involved in this needs prayer. Everybody does. And they need the grace to know that it could have been any of us. I think we think when these things happen, oh, that just happens to them, as if to say it doesn't happen, it can't happen to me. It can only happen to at that level. I think that could happen at any level. I really do. I think there's no set level for these things to happen. So it can happen to anybody at any given time. We just don't know when these things can happen. I know. There's hi Elaine. Oh, glad to join. Glad for you to be here too. Glad for you to be here. And Elaine's comment. I just saw her in the meeting. I feel that we individually can and must speak to our networks and say something about trying to handle things in a non-aggressive manner. These issues are between them, but it was viewed worldwide. I agree. Elaine, I totally agree. And it's unfortunate. Unfortunately, this incident has repercussions for many people. It does. Many people are attached to Chris. As far as Chris Rock is concerned, the tickets that were $47 are now over $400 to go see Chris Rock. It's helped his career tremendously, but it's been done the exact opposite, as we know, for Will Smith. It really, I mean, there's no doubt. When they cancel projects or move them to the background, as they said that what they're doing is called shelving them, meaning you don't know when those projects are going to come to light now. One was called Emancipation, and I didn't know the story or anything like that, but that was, and I think it was during by the movie title Emancipation, after what happens after emancipation. Now that story is no longer, may or may not be told. And maybe they're going to give it like a year or something. They'll come out with it. I don't know. But what's really involved in all of these things are high emotions. It without a doubt, it should have been taken care of non-aggressively. It's so many different ways. I'm sure he's thinking now he could have handled it instead of that way. There's no doubt in my mind. Um, but that was not, that was the way he did it. It was no doubt, it was emotions that got the best of him that night. Um, and I think that's why when he did receive the award, he was standing there, he was crying. I think that was why, because he realized, what did I do and why did I do it? I think that was part of it. So it's so many things that we as a society too are um, looking at this and evaluating this and dissecting this entire scene. What happened? That's the question. What happened? And so, um, as I said before, the teams attached to these projects, they're teams, by the way, or they call them families. Some people call them tribes, but there are so many people attached to these projects. And I'm hoping everyone, is compensated for this because sometimes they're shooting, depending on what the project is, it can be months, like 6 months. So the person knows they have an income for the next 6 months until they move on to the next project. That's not, and when they move them back behind other projects, they don't know when that project is coming back to life. Nobody knows. It's up to the executives at the studios of when it comes back. I just found out recently that Will Smith's production company, which I didn't know about. I didn't know he has a production company. I was glad to hear that. So I said, well, I guess at this time that would be the way for him to make movies, his production company, because the other ones have said no. At this time, we're not going to make movies. So, but I did want to hear from you, the audience, as to how you felt. And thank you, Elaine, for saying what you said, which is there are repercussions now for many people that you never see, the production teams, which are vast on the movies that he's on because he's an A-lister. So you have people that are, after production. Um, you have people that are that you, like I said, you never see. When you see the credits on what it takes to make a movie, it is phenomenal for anything that Will Smith does. And hello, Jeanette. Oh, I'm happy for you to join too. Nice of you to be here. It really is. I know today is different. This is a different day, Jeanette. Normally, I have a guest, and today our guest, our signals got crossed because he's on the East Coast, and so, but that's okay. I mentioned to him that we're going to talk about what's going on with the Will Smith and Chris Rock incident, which has been on everybody's mind for this last week. Um, and what does this mean to a society, to our society? Because I've heard different things. People saying, "Oh, as I mentioned earlier, oh, he set us back," and then I've heard other people say, which I don't agree with that. Um, by the way, I totally disagree with saying that because I feel like he is one person. It's not for me to. This is how I look at it. And unless I'm in Will Smith's bank account, you can't set me back any more than he can be in our bank account and set us back. So Will Smith he is his own person. So whatever he does, that's for Will Smith to do. It has nothing. I can't have everything he does affect me. That's no. Just because we're both black, no. The Caucasian community does not let the things that the Caucasian community do. They let it stand alone with that person, and we have to do the same, in my opinion. The Alec Baldwin situation, I didn't hear anybody say, "Oh, Alec Baldwin did that, so all Caucasian people did that." No, that has to end. It has to end. We have to let people. We don't let one person represent all of society. We can't. someone mentioned, I'm telling you all these comments I've been hearing. They said to me, um, so when Obama was elected, did that mean that all of us got to be president? Is that what that meant? So that's why another way of saying we can't all. Thank you for your comment, Jeanette. We can't all be affected by everything that one person does. As I said before, Alec Baldwin, and that's unfortunate. He shot a gun. Um, well, let me say this. He's saying he didn't shoot the gun now, but the day it happened, he said he shot the gun. So I don't know what the man. I don't. I'm not going to be. It's not for me to decide. But a young lady was killed. She lost her life. I remember my parents telling me. Now this is years ago, and they said even if a gun is not loaded, never point it at anyone ever, loaded or unloaded. Just don't put a gun. And honestly, I don't even handle guns. I'm not even that. I just never have been a gun person. But I didn't hear everyone say, well, Alec Baldwin did it. All Caucasian people, look at you guys. No, he is standing on his own, as it should be. And as we, in my opinion, as African Americans, or you say African American, we can say Black, the point is individually we are responsible. Now, when it's time for social change or something like that, um, that's different. But I'm saying when we're talking about incidents, we have to be able to stand on our own. I think that's the one thing that is missing from this whole situation. I don't think it's even fair to put to, as I said, we got the Chris Rock camp and we have the Will Smith camp because so I've heard people say Chris Rock deserved it. Not that it should have happened that way, but that comedians go too far. It's not for me to say what the way is. I'm saying that the entire situation deserves grace. It deserves grace. That's how I feel about it. As I said before, I invited both of the gentlemen to come on the show. And and this is what I said. I sent the message on their DMs on Instagram, and I said, you know what? Just throw that hat in the ring. All they can say is yes or no. That's it. They can't just they can say yes or no. But I definitely put both of those. My husband's watching me on, on his laptop, and so just keep that in mind as we're going through this situation. As you're going through this situation, I say going through because you can't turn the TV on without hearing about it. Just know we are what we say. It is huge. Let me just be honest with you. Oh, I'm just waiting for you to turn the volume down.
I'm trying to do that.
Okay. That's okay. Um, but keep that in mind to pray, as I said before, and I do mean that for the family because they are. I mean, we all are in need of prayer. This has affected all of us. I think we are all. There's no way. There's no me to say. There's no way that we're not affected by it. But how do we learn from this situation? How do we? What do we learn from this? And hello, Richard. Hi, Richard. Always glad to see you here. Today we had this is a different day today on the show. It's a conversation about the Will Smith and Chris Rock. So that is different for us. Normally we do have a guest, and um, as I mentioned earlier, the guest we got our signals crossed. He's East Coast and I'm West Coast, and but he'll be back. He will be back. So, but I did, and I would like your opinions those here on the show, Richard, Jeanette, Elaine. What are your opinions about this entire situation with Will Smith and Chris Rock? How do you feel about it? I'm gonna let you make the comments because I am definitely interested in hearing from you on what what do you feel should happen from this. Let me ask you that question. What do you think should happen? As I said before, they have definitely been invited. I smile about that because I said, you know, I what could I say? If let's say they both said yes, I don't think I would know how to act. It's like, so, what do you feel is should be the outcome of this situation? Because it's definitely not over. That's for sure. It is not over. So, what do you feel the outcome should be, ladies, gentlemen? Should it be? To my knowledge, he's already apologized. That Will Smith has apologized to Chris Rock, and he's apologized to the Academy Awards, the Board of Governors, not Board of Directors, Board of Governors, and everyone that saw the incident, and everyone that just to everybody that I know of that he has made those apologies to. But what do you feel should be the outcome of this? I'm trying to, as best I can, make this a learning experience for everyone involved. Because I'm going to use myself as an example. Years ago, I was in a meeting, and during the meeting, I was sitting at a table, and behind me were five of my um, people that work for me. And on the opposite side of the table, because we were in the cafeteria, and the opposite side of the table was a vice principal. I was a director for a program, and it was a vice principal on the other side, and she had five of her staff behind her, which is really interesting. And we were going at it, ladies and gentlemen. And then I remember, I mean, when I say at it wasn't physical, everything was with words. But I saw her turning just beet red because she was so angry with me because I wouldn't do what she wanted me to do. And I said, I don't work for you. She didn't like that at all. But I didn't work for her. I worked for the entire school district, but I don't work for her personally. It wasn't like that. And so I really was very, vocal about that. But she didn't like that either. But in the end, I remember thinking, I have to think it. The staff said it. Our staff, we were walking out, and they said, I've never seen a fight and nobody threw a punch. I've never seen it. They said that you usually people get, they get so upset they reach out or they do something or whatever. And they said, and nobody threw a punch. You guys were fighting. That's what they were telling us. They said, you guys were fighting, but it was with words. And then and we were. That's what it was. Going back and forth. And she goes, she's demanding I do this. And I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not, and I was like, it doesn't matter what you say. I'm not doing it. That's it. It was like, but I won't say it got loud, but it got heated. That's the best way I could describe it. It got heated. And, but I remember when I got up from the table, I walked away. The lady looked like a tomato. She was so red. She was so angry, but she could not put her hands on me, and I could not put my hands on her. We both understood there's a line that we could not cross. That table wasn't what kept us apart. It was because we knew you can't do it. So where is it that we just know that somewhere inside of Will Smith something went off? But I don't think it was that night. I think it was a combination of situations. Let's see. Richard says, "I hate that it happened. I agree, Richard. I am not judging either one. I hope all good. One day, Will and Chris will make a movie together. I start with the end in mind. Victory. Oh, that's a good. I like that, Richard. I like that. I think the judgment is what they're feeling. They have to be. Um, there's no way they couldn't. Well, I say judgment. The judgment is really on Will Smith. I don't know that it's a lot of. Well, there is judgment on Chris Rock too. So you're right, because Chris Rock has been judged as going off script. That's one. He did do that, and I do think that's what he feels bad about too. That if there was any part he felt like he played in, it was that he did go off script, and he probably thought what he said was very innocent, because honestly, I didn't even get the joke when he said it. I didn't get it. My cousins got it, but I did not get it. They were like, "Oh, he's talking about Demi Moore." I said, "Okay." I still wasn't really getting it. And then and then it was about her hair being shaved of GI Joe too, but that didn't bother me. But then again, I'm not in the limelight. I'm not looking at millions of people looking at me. I'm not any of those things. All of those things that they are, it doesn't apply to me. So I don't have the same um, constitution about it. I don't look at it the same way they do. I'm not, you know, nobody's gonna be taking pictures of my head one way or the other, or looking at my husband as of not defending me for the things that someone is saying. None of that's happening to me. So I'm not. I don't. That's not my world. So for me, it would have went right over my head. It would have been like, okay, but that was me. And then the fact that I think in the past there have been comments about Jada and Will. I guess Chris Rock has made some comments previous to this, so it probably was more history too than we even know about. At least I know that's what I've been told. I have not kept up. That's just the truth of the matter. But that's what I've been told, that there was other comments that have been made previous to this. So it's just I agree with you about the no judgment, Richard. I don't want to be judging anybody. Is it as this, what does it say in the Bible? To take the splinter, take the plank out of your eye before you try to take the splinter out of someone else's. That's one of the Bible verses. I don't know where it's in there, but it's in there. Um, so with everybody that's saying things, would you want whatever you have said or done to come to light at that on that magnitude, on a stage of that magnitude? I know the answer is no. We don't. But we do judge other people. We do judge celebrities different than we judge everyone else because they're in front of the camera. But even I'm sure they will tell you I mean, their art. That's their art. Acting is an art. It is an art. It's like any other art, and but they're still human beings. They didn't stop being a human being because they're in front of that camera. That's not what that doesn't dictate. Oh no, now you're not a human being because you're in front. That it doesn't work like that. Oh, oh, thank you, Janie. Oh, thank you, Janie. We're in Vegas already too, Janie. We're already here. We came in early, so I know we're gonna be seeing you soon. Hi, Janie. so, so I would really, really encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to have grace for this whole situation. And the way we do that is we don't perpetuate it. We don't perpetuate it. We give grace to both of these gentlemen. And to, I guess I would include Jada Pinkett too, because the comments I've heard referring to her too, also. So I would say to the whole situation, to their whole families, I can I cannot imagine, I cannot imagine in my wildest dreams what it must be for all of them. They have assistants that work for them and that are there, but at the same time, the one thing that they all need is prayer. I mean, Richard says, "Oh, I'm at the Rio. You have money at the Rio, Richard." That's where we are now at the Rio. We sure are. We're gonna be here for a few days for a conference. It's actually for our it's called the platform, and we're gonna be here, and we're excited. Tomorrow, we will. I don't know if I'll have it up tomorrow. Tomorrow we go on a yacht, so we'll be on a yacht tomorrow. So it's exciting for us too. So I'll try and take pictures or try to do videos so you guys can see what the yacht looks like and all that fun stuff. And I'll try and make sure I post that. And Jane, what do you say? Janie says, Will is hurting, crying on the inside, and I don't believe he was acting. You don't believe he was acting? No. Oh, no, no, no. I don't think so. I agree, Janie. No, I think this is one of those regrets. This is there's no doubt in my mind. I think Will Smith is regretting um, the actions of that night. And I know, and I believe he would take it back if he could. But we all know you can't do that. So how do you go forward? That's why I said he needs prayer. I don't, and I said earlier, Janie, I did say I invited him to be on the show. I said Will a DM. I said Chris Rock a DM. So every day I'm sending them a direct message. You guys can send one too and say, "Come be on the Mary D show." Yeah, I sure do. I go to their Instagrams. Somebody reads those Instagrams. I don't know who's reading it, but I didn't do Twitter yet, but I just did Instagram. But I did do it. I sure did because I said, why not? I look at it like this. This show is on YouTube, which is worldwide. They can come on and talk, and I'd be glad to have them. I'll host the event. I'll host it, everything. So if you have a way to contact their people, but I know they have, the big networks, I'm sure, reaching out to them, but they may not want to be on the big networks. They may not. They want to be on something a little more intimate. So you just never know. But I just said, might as well put it out there. They have people, they have PR people, they have, you name it. They have an army, both of them on both sides. They both have an army of people. Their job is to you know the public relations for each of these gentlemen. I'm sure of that, no doubt. But I just want them to know that they're welcome to come on the Mary D show, and we can talk about it. And you know what I've come to terms with is that if I don't say it, I'll never know. But if I do say it, wouldn't it be interesting if one of them does come on the show? Wouldn't that be something, ladies and gentlemen? You never know. You never know. So I did send my number too. I sent the number. Um, I told them it's live every Monday. I sent all that to them so they would be aware that yes, we would like to have them. And they can come on. What would be interesting if both of them came? That would be almost too much to handle. I don't even know if I can handle that. But no, they would, because this would they like I said, they are people. They are people. They're not robots. They're people. And they have human frailties. We all do. Um, idiosyncrasies. We all do. I remember when I first heard that word, I was in high school and my teacher said the word. That's my favorite word, by the way. It's idiosyncrasies. And I said to them, our teacher said the word. Here I was probably like 16. And when they said that, I was like, wow, idiosyncrasies. I just love the word. And that is the little things that make us us. The little things that make you, that make, there's little things you do. It may, and now the big things we all recognize, in each other. But the little things, um, maybe you uh, make your bed with a certain crease. Maybe you say words a certain way and it's different than other people say them, or you you put your clothes out at night where other people don't, or you have a way you sit at the same chair at the table. Whatever it is, we all have them. It's called your id. What is it about you? Idiosyncrasies that make you you. Chris Rock has it. I can tell you right now, Will Smith has it. You have it. I have it. Everybody has it. If you're alive on this planet, you have it. Period. So keep that in mind. There's something that went on that night that we have. We don't have. We don't. We're not. We don't have the insight to know what it was. We really don't. I know we think we do, and we actually think. If you really think about it, we act like celebrities belong to us. Think about that. We act like they belong to us. Not that they're not their own people. Not that they don't have children, have their own families, but it's almost like there's an ownership of celebrities. They're in a whole nother category. And it's true. It really is true. We think differently about them than we do about anybody else. That's just the way of this world. But that doesn't mean that they don't need prayer. That doesn't mean that. I actually heard someone say this. Will Smith has too much money to be doing that. I, as if money means he's not human. It's if money means he doesn't have feelings. That's exactly how they said it. He has too much money. I thought, wow, so he's not a human being anymore. Not that that it was right, but that the humanity is now gone due to his bank account. And Elaine said, as for sending DMs to Will and Chris, why not? We have not, we have not because we asked. Go ahead, Elaine. Trust God. He can do wonders. Elaine, go ahead. Because you know what? Like I said, why not? Why not? And I remember when I sent them both, and I said, "This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep DN until their people say something." As I know, they're not reading these. They don't have time to read these. Those gentlemen, they got things to do, I'm sure. But the point is, I'm still reaching out to them, and I'm sure a lot of people are. By the way, it's not. I'm sure tons of people are. There are people that know their PR people. I don't know their PR people. I think I went on Will Smith. It's called IMBD, and that means that it lists all of his credits, what he's done in Hollywood, which is phenomenal. I mean, just the work, the body of work that the man has done. I didn't even know some of the things he had done, and the body of work that Chris Rock has done. They both are phenomenal in the entertainment industry. The men are just, what can you say? A-listers, but they're still human. They're still human. They're not aliens because because of that. They're still human beings that didn't leave, did not go anywhere. So I agree. Thank you, Elaine. I appreciate that, Elaine. And I know I'm going to keep. So you guys do it too. Send them the message and say, we would like to see you on the Mary D show. And I'm gonna you can put my number in there. Their people their people need to call my people. Now my people, the executive producer is Oliver, my husband Oliver Welch. But I'm just putting it in there because I never know. Never know. Here it is. This is my cell. I'm gonna give you both the cell and the office. I'll put both numbers in here. And that way they can call one or the other. And it's the Mary D show. And you know what? This is what I think. I think they're gonna call. You guys are gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you. This is how I look at it. If this happens, I put this up on the internet, people are gonna be like, no. How could that be? So let's see. The office number is 619-669-8603. That's the office. And the cell is, I'm gonna put it up. You guys, there we go. Oops, here we go. Here we go. So that's the office and the cell. Oh, here it should go up pretty soon. Here we go. There it is. The office and the cell. So if you know, just put it, just because you think about it, if all of us do this, it's gonna get somebody's attention. I should send it out. Those of you on the email, I think Jeanette, I'm not sure if you're on the email system. Hi, cousin Henry. Hi, that's my cousin Henry. I call her Henry, but she's cousin. Hi, cousin Henry. So, but keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. For you do it, I do it. It's gonna get somebody's attention. I'm gonna be honest with you. Somebody's gonna say they're gonna call. They're gonna do something. If all of us send to their direct message on their Instagram, on their Facebook pages, and say we like to see you on the Mary D show, I'll send it out on the email. You never know. The email system has thousands of individuals on the email system, and those of you that like to join the email, if you're not receiving emails already, you go to marydwelch.com and join our email list. That's how you can join the email list. Or you can send me I think Jeanette may be the only one I think on here that's not currently on the email. Who else is on here? Let me think. I think you're the only one, Jeanette. Everybody else, Janie is, Richard is, Elaine, they're all on the email list except for Jeanette. McGee, I don't know if you're receiving an email, let me know, Jeanette. And then, or if you're not, you put your email, send it, and I will add you to the email list, and you'll get the emails. They come out About 4 times a week. I was doing every single day. I no longer email every single day. It's like now I've reduced it to about 4 times a week. I think that's about right. 3 or 4 times a week. But I also have a texting system. So if you have your cell phone, um, here, I'm gonna give you my email. And you send over Jeanette. I don't know. Here, I'll do the put Delano Law. 319. This is my email. You can send. You send a message to this email. Let me put that up there for you. Okay, there. So Jeanette, if you send your email and your cell, you can come to it. You'll get on the list, and you get emails a week before the show and a cell. I sent one out yesterday, I think. A day, sometime a day before or the day of, they'll get a text message. Either one of those. But I'm asking you to just text. All you're gonna do is go to their direct messages on Instagram, on wherever they're trying. And they have huge followings. Will Smith, I think, was like 62 million. Think about that. 62 million people follow him. So it's going to take all of us. But this is how I look at it. If all of us put it down there, I promise you, they're going to call. Somebody's going to contact me. They're going to do it through from my IG account. I'm going to put that for those of you that don't know my Instagram. You can follow me there too, Mary_D_Welch. There we go. I'm gonna put that for those of you that there we go. That's my Instagram. You can follow me there, and I'm getting more and more acquainted with Instagram and learning it, and it's learning that I'm behind the times a little bit. But this is what I've learned too. I just have to take it at the speed that I can do it. And that's how I want to take it at. But I know we're getting near the end of this the show today. But I want to thank each and every one of you for coming on. My apologies again for Justin, because he thought we were 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time instead of Pacific Standard Time. So that's why he has another appointment. But I just let him know he can come back again, and we'll have him, in the future. So I definitely want to thank all of you for coming. Your opinions mean a lot to me. It really does. So I appreciate all of you that made comments. And this is something that I have a feeling is not going to end anytime soon. I think it's going to go on for a little while. But remember, we all need grace. We all need grace. No matter who you are, no matter what you did or did not do, we all need it. His family needs prayer. They're hurting behind this. It's virtually impossible that they're not hurting. He's hurting. Chris Rock is hurting. He's hurting behind this because he was the one that they received that slap, and that's the picture you see over and over and over again. Who wants to be the one that, yes, he's financially going to, it's affected him financially that, all of his shows are sold out. I'm sure now somebody's reaching out to him for a movie deal or whatever. I'm pretty sure. But the point is, who wants to be remembered for that? So say prayers for all involved in this. I believe Chris Rock has 2 daughters. I know, and I would think it is 2 daughters, and I know Will Smith has how many children? 3 or 4. I think it's 3. I think it's a daughter and 2 sons. So they're hurting. They're hurting behind this. This is not an easy situation to deal with. So keep that in mind as you go about your day. As you just say a prayer for the family. Say a prayer for everyone involved in this, because this is hurtful. There's no winning. That's why I say about what camp are you in? There is no winning here. It's only grace here, prayer and grace for everyone involved in this. But there's no winning. There's no winners and there's no losers. If there's a loser, it would be without a doubt Will Smith. But as far as But as I said at the beginning of the hour, everyone has done something that they've regretted. They've said something or done something. And I think that that is part of being human. I think that that's part of our humanity. That God has said, to give us, as I mentioned before, when you look out, when you take the splinter out of your it says take the plank out of your eye before you take the splinter out of someone else's. And I don't know where that is in the Bible. Somebody can look it up, but I just know it's in the Bible. Elaine said prayer changes things. Thank you, Elaine. I pray that this will get out of the public's eyes, and we get to talk between them, and they get to talk between them. I agree. And so remember, go to Instagram and encourage them to come to the Mary D show. And I would love to. You know what? I said, what would it be like to have both of these gentlemen as on the show? And we have, it's, oh my God. Hi there, sweetheart. Nina, next time he will think twice before assaulting someone. You know, we would hope. We would hope. I think that that's why I think this is so important about talking about this. I would hope. I don't honestly, I don't think we have to worry about Will Smith ever touch anybody else again in life. I really believe that this incident, it had, but there's a root to this. There's a root to this. Somewhere is a beginning to this. I don't know what it is. I don't know if, like, this was the last time he said, if Chris Rock says anything else, I'm gonna go up there and slap him. I don't know. I don't know what led to that, but it has been and will be. Thank you for that, though. Um, it will be something that we will be talking about for a long time. And as I said before, grace, grace. So, oh, I am over time. Look at that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the show today. We will be back next Monday. God bless each and every one of you. I love you. Take care. Bye bye. Oh, and one more comment. Like you said, no one is winning here. Thank you. No, nobody's winning. All right. Bye, everybody.